Hello.
Hey, how you doing?
Good. You hear me pretty well?
Yeah,
Excellent. It was great to see you, Doug.
good to see you too. A long time.
Yeah, I wondered if you'd remember, but it's been like, I mean, I saw you guys in Salt Lake City in 2009.
Yeah,
That's the last time, but then it's been like since it was in New Jersey, New York, Philadelphia area, I would see you guys all the time. That's been almost 30 years now. So
wow. Time flies.
you look about the same. Your
You do
hairstyle's
too.
changed. I'm a lot grayer.
Yeah, me too. I'm all gray.
Well, you shave it off. That's a good way to go too. Well, it's great to reconnect, and I really appreciate you taking some time. I don't know if Alex explained what I'm doing.
No, I think he did, but I don't pay attention ever,
Okay,
because
you just
I'm so scared of doing what I do. It's like I just texted him and I says, what am I doing and who am I talking to and what's it about? And then he didn't get back to me, and I pushed the button that entered the chat and it said Pat Madden, and I'm going, well, I know him.
oh cool. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So I go, okay, this will be cool.
You got a good memory then, because I got to imagine that from back in the day there were thousands and thousands of fans that you connected with. And
You know,
so
yeah, I got a good memory. It's a very dysfunctional memory, but it's good. It's selective. I remember detail, and then I don't remember anything.
wow,
And something that could be the greatest thing in the world happened to me, and I forgot about it. But something that's mundane that I did with somebody, I could bring that up.
yeah, yeah,
It's like it's when it comes and goes. You just never know.
right, right. I think that's roughly accurate from my memory as well.
Yeah,
Gets me
because
in trouble
we're
sometimes.
all, I think we're all geniuses. And if we make music, if we're artists, we're geniuses in our own right. We just might not know our numbers well or know calculus, but
Right, right.
we can do those other things that other people can't do.
Yeah, yeah. Well, since that time long ago, I'm married now, have 6 kids.
Grandkids,
None yet, but my oldest is 22
there you go.
and the youngest is 10. So maybe that's
You
just
will.
around the corner.
It's just around the corner, bro.
No immediate prospects as far as I can tell, but
Oh, I got you.
things happen quickly.
Yeah, they do.
And I'm a college professor. I teach English and mostly creative writing.
That's interesting.
Yeah. So back when I would see you all the time at those shows, I was studying physics at Notre
Mm-hmm.
Dame. And
Jeez.
and I just kind of did a 180. I thought,
Mm-hmm.
physics isn't really what I want to do. It seems like a really narrow field. You got to know a lot about a very small area of knowledge and become an
Yeah.
expert. But I wanted to learn to write and become an essayist, because an essayist can write whatever they're curious about and then go on to the next thing and then do the next thing. And so I've been pretty lucky. I went to grad school and learned to write well enough that you got hired, and I teach at Brigham Young University in Utah, and published 3 books that I wrote, edited another book. And so what I'm doing now, every year for the past 6 years, there's this weird writing and music conglomeration called March Xness. So it was first March Sadness,
Mm-hmm.
March Fadness, March Badness, March Shredness. And each year there's like a category. So it was like
Mm-hmm. I
sad
like that.
songs, one hit wonder songs,
Uh-huh.
and that sort of thing. And so they get 64 songs and 64 writers who write about or in response to or inspired by a particular song. And then they match them up in an NCAA basketball tournament style bracket. And then people watch the video for the song, listen to the song, read the essay written about the song, and then they vote. So every few days, there's a new round, and then all through the month of March, it narrows down, and eventually there's like a national champion
Oh,
essay song combination.
it's interesting.
It's weird. People write some really strange stuff. Sometimes
Mm-hmm.
the person writing isn't really a fan of the song. Like they wrote bad songs
Yeah.
years ago, and people were like,
Most songs
somewhat
that are hits,
ironic.
that most hit songs I hated, I always would put a record on and go, now that's the worst song on the record, and it's usually always the one that I heard on the radio. So
Exactly.
I know.
So anyway, this year the theme is, they're calling it March Plaidness, and the theme is grunge.
Okay,
But they're calling it grunge and grunge adjacent songs.
I like that.
So I know the guy who organized the tournament,
Hmm.
and he's a good writer. We go back, and I always wanted to write something about the music I love.
Hmm.
And so this year I thought, well, I grew up I was a teenager, early 20s in the 90s when grunge hit. I'll sign up for that. So I signed up to write, and then when it was my turn to pick a song to write about, I went down the list and I saw King's X, and I said, oh, okay. Well, I could see, I mean, King's X isn't exactly grunge, but
Hmm.
there's, we could talk about that, which I really want to get into. But I was like, okay, King's X is one of my absolute favorite bands. And not only that, I mean, I go back with King's X. Doug used to write me postcards. I got photos. I got
Yeah.
all this stuff, right? So I would be ideal to write about this.
Well,
Whereas
this is
everyone
gonna be
write
fun.
about, Pearl Jam, and just because
Hmm.
they were fans of the time, right?
Yeah.
So that's what the idea is. And so this is somewhat interview, but it's also just, I hope to just chat and see where we go and what memories it sparks, what ideas, how we can
Okay.
approach it. And I don't have my plan of exactly what I'm going to write yet, but I'll just see where this goes and then what I can write from it. And I
Hmm.
can share it with you, see if you think it's all right.
And,
Or
and you know what you're talking about, but
I hope so.